The Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to the 12, "Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. Whoever welcomes a prophet in the name of a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. And whoever welcomes a righteous person in the name of a righteous person will receive the reward of the righteous. And whoever gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones in the name of a disciple, truly I tell you, none of these will lose their reward." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Christ.
Please be seated. When I first read today's Gospel text at my regular pastor's Bible study, it seemed almost like we were hearing the Gospel of John. It had that same repetitive, circular feel to it. Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me, and whoever welcomes a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. Whoever welcomes a righteous person will receive the reward of the righteous. Reminded me of John's I and you and me and him and us and all that stuff. But just what is Matthew trying to say here? First, we need to remember the context. Most of the 10th chapter of Matthew is Jesus giving instructions to the disciples as he sends them out on a mission trip. We've heard some of that in the past few weeks. Jesus has told them some pretty dire things. Take nothing with you. Be dependent on those you serve. I am sending you out like sheep into the midst of wolves. Your lives may be in danger. Families will be disrupted. Doesn't sound like a very fun trip to me. Then, in this week's reading, he tells them, "Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and the one who sent me." He is telling them that there will be people who will welcome them. It won't be all bad. People will do their duty of hospitality. For Jews and Christians, hospitality has always been central to identity. The call to welcome the stranger is mentioned many times in the Torah, the law of Moses, and it was one of the ways that the Hebrew community's faithfulness to God was measured. When a traveler came to town, they went and sat and waited by the well. It was expected that the townspeople would house and feed these strangers for the night. Someone would come forward and say, "Come to my house to have dinner and sleep over." These travelers were usually strangers. They were unknown to the community. They were aliens, often foreigners, people who had different foods, different clothes, different languages, different gods. Opening one's home was risky. Today, we would describe such a thing as just plain foolish. But hospitality was central to the Hebrew identity. It defined them because they knew that hospitality was central to the character of their God. This practice continued with the early Christian communities. Paul reminded the Romans to offer hospitality to the alien. And in the letter to the Hebrews, there are those famous words that we should show hospitality to everyone because we might be entertaining angels unaware. In Acts, the early deacons practiced hospitality throughout the community, bringing welcome to those in need. And in Matthew's community, the group that's hearing this gospel first, hospitality still measured the faithfulness of the people. It all begins with practice. To offer hospitality, we simply bring who we are and what we have to where we are. At times, that may be a grand gesture. At other times, it may be a very small thing. Jesus said, "Whoever gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones, I tell you, none of these will lose their reward." What a small gesture to give a cup of cold water. Jesus emphasizes this by the word even a cup of cold water. We seem to imagine that discipleship requires a huge sacrifice or entails great feats. And sometimes that is what discipleship comes to. But at other times, Jesus seems to say it's nothing more than a cup of cold water to someone in need, or offering a hug to someone who is grieving, or a listening ear to someone in need of a friend, or a ride to someone with no car, or volunteering at the food bank, or making a small donation to Lutheran World Relief. Those add up. You get the idea. Discipleship doesn't have to be heroic. It's like all the small acts of devotion, tenderness, and forgiveness that often go unnoticed, but which tend the relationships that are most important to us. The life of faith is composed of 1,000 small gestures, except, according to Jesus, there are no small gestures. Anything done in faith and love has cosmic significance for the ones involved and for the world God loves so much. One of my online colleagues reminded me of a story, one that you might know, called The Star Thrower by Lauren Isley. Originally published in 1969, the story has been adapted for many audiences. My favorite version goes something like this. Once upon a time, there was an old man who used to go to the ocean to do his writing. It was his custom to walk on the beach every morning before he began his work. Early one morning, he was walking along the shore after a big storm had passed and found the beach littered with starfish as far as the eye could see. Off in the distance, the old man noticed a young girl approaching. As the girl walked, she paused every so often, and as she grew closer, the man could see that she occasionally was bending down to pick something up and throw it into the sea. As the girl came closer, the man called out, "Good morning. May I ask what you were doing?" The young girl paused and replied, "I'm throwing starfish back into the ocean. The storm has washed them so far up onto the beach that they can't return to the sea by themselves. When the sun gets high, they'll die, unless I throw them back into the water." The old man looked at her and replied, "But there must be thousands of starfish on this beach. I'm afraid you won't really be able to make much of a difference." The girl looked disappointed, but just for a moment. Then she bent down, picked up yet another starfish, threw it gently back into the ocean. She turned to the old man and said, "It made a difference for that one." Jesus has promised to come in time to redeem everything in love, to fix all damage, to heal all hurts, and to wipe the tears from every eye. We, in the meantime, can devote ourselves to acts of mercy and deeds of compassion, large and small. We don't need to save the world. Jesus has promised to do that. But we can simply try to take care of the little corner of the world in which we have been placed. And so even a cup of cold water can make a huge and unexpected difference to those to whom we give it. And according to Jesus, such acts have eternal and broad-reaching consequences. And our action can affect those around us. As I searched online for the author and publication date, original date of the starfish story, I found an ending to the story that I had not heard before. After the little girl looks at the man defiantly and says, "I made a difference for that one," the old man looked at the girl inquisitively and thought about what she had done and said. Inspired, he joined the little girl in throwing starfish back into the sea. Soon, others on the beach joined, and many of the starfish were saved. Amen.